Looking for the best junior bird in the show. So I'm looking for condition, make sure that the birds are fixed up and ready for the show. So that's why I'm looking at the feathers, make sure I don't have any lice holes in it, make sure it's got some weight to it, make sure it's ready for the show.
My name's Bob Jackson. I'm from Bracketville, Texas. I've been coming to the Carlsbad Pigeon Show since 1985. The show's held here every year in December. We have about 80 exhibitors and about 400 birds that's shown every year. Over the years, the show has increased from its beginning, and now we're the largest pigeon show in the southeast United States. It's a tri-state area of Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado. And this year's show is the largest of all. And thanks to the gracious people of Carlsbad, they let us have that show here. So we really appreciate that. And it's a family sport event where the whole family can be involved in raising pigeons. And once they get started, it's hard to give up. I've been breeding pigeons since I was a kid, probably about 13, and I started off stealing pigeons off of buildings in Carlsbad. And so over the years, we found out that there was such a thing as fancy pigeons and racing pigeons and utility pigeons, and we started ordering them out of catalogs. It's an interesting hobby. It teaches responsibility. Kids are able to learn responsibility, and it's a family sporting event. The birds themselves vary in price, and most of them are donated by master breeders to younger people if they're interested in getting started. The club's been here in Carlsbad since 1985, and if anyone is interested in pigeons or raising pigeons or getting their kids involved with it, they can contact Mickey Jackson in Carlsbad. He's listed in the phone number in the phone book, or Royce Perry, who is the vice president, who lives in Hobbs, New Mexico, and he's also listed in the telephone book. I've been in pigeon breeding for about 30 years, but I'm a newcomer to it. A lot of other people have been into it a lot longer than that. It's a good hobby, it's a good sporting event, and it's a good way to meet new people around your area and outside your area.
Hello, I'm C.D. Brooker. I'm from Lumberton, New Mexico. I'm here at the Pecos Valley Pigeon Association show. I'd like to tell you about a few of the breeds and show you some of them. This right here is the performance breeds. These are the Oriental rollers. As you see, their tail sticks up in there, and their wings are down. They meet the standard very well. These birds, whenever they're flying, they will actually do backwards flips in the air, and then they'll continue flying. There's also several other performance breeds here. Down here on the bottom is the English Carriers, and they're kind of a homing pigeon. They've been used to deliver messages and everything all through the years. As you see the big wattle on their nose, it gets bigger and bigger as they get older. As you can see, this bird right here, how big his wattle is. And on over here is the basic roller. As you see, their tail is straight, it doesn't stick up, and their wings are up above their tail. These are performance birds. They also roll in the air. Some of these birds will even roll 60 to 100 feet in the air, just doing backwards flips. I've won several shows with the red-colored bird here, and you know, there's just so many different breeds. I've also got rollers in here, and I've got some mookies and fantails, and you know, there's a standard for every bird, and there's a picture, and then there's a standard that tells how they should be, and you go by the standard on what you win and on how you win and everything. And you know, it also tells you how their head should be shaped, how their body should be shaped, how their legs should sit, and everything. And everything's got a standard for each breed. All these birds are as close to the standard as the people can raise them and get them. And sometimes you'll get birds that aren't that good, and you just keep breeding them till they finally, you know, get to what you want to. This is the Archangel.
Archangel?
Yeah, they're a color breed. They're a color breed. These are really good birds. Yes, you can tell the vivid colors and everything on them. That's what you do. You try to make your colors as dark and nice as you can. This right here is the new version of they're called Dutch turbits. This is a new version. They're always changing the birds, getting them bigger and better, and that's what this is. This is the new version of them. You don't see a lot of these yet, but in years to come you will. Yeah, these are the frillbacks. As you see the curly feathers on their wings and everything, they try to improve them and get them better and better. Most of the time the curl has to be at least 3 or 4 curls to make a real good one. They've also got a standard on the way their head should be shaped and their body and their feet. Every year, you know, they get them better and better. The breeders are getting better and better, and the birds are getting better and better. This little show, even though it's not a real big show, it's a real good show because of the quality of the birds. Yeah, this is the Indian fantail. They're the biggest of the fantails. You notice they got feathers on their feet and a flip behind their head, and then they got these huge tails. That's what they breed for, to get the fan as nice and uniform as you can get it, and to get the big feathers on their feet. And you mix the birds different colors to come out with better and better color. Some of the hardest birds really to raise and really get them right. People work real hard on it, and sometimes they'll use other birds to raise their babies in order to be able to raise them. As you can see, these birds can't see too good in front and right back behind them. Therefore, you know, a lot of times you'll use other birds to raise their babies, which, you know, is a plus. If you've got good pumpers, you can raise a lot of birds. You can double the amount of birds that you can raise in a year.
Hi, my name's Dylan Wilson. I'm from Del Rio, Texas, and I just won the Junior Bird Show. I had this bird about 3 years. I feed them maize and sunflower seeds. That's about it.
Yeah, I'll look for a pair like these for you. Okay.
I'm Royce Perry from Hobbs, New Mexico. I've raised pigeons since I was probably 10 or 11 years old, off and on. Like most people, I took a break during my teen years. I got started again when I was about 30 years old, and I've had pigeons almost continuously since then. I've had a number of different breeds of pigeons. The birds come in different colors, different ornaments. You have things such as frillbacks that have curly feathers on them. The English trumpeters, which I raised at the time, they have feathers on the back of their head. We call it crest. They have a little tuft of feathers above their nose. They have long sickle-shaped muffs, and they come in various colors. The birds come in colors such as pastels. There's one breed of pigeon that is almost ice blue. It's a very pale blue color, beautiful birds. They vary in size from small birds, well about the size of a common dove, up to 3-pound birds, which are as big as chickens.
different sizes, different shapes, different colors, different markings. It's a fantastic hobby, and like Bob said, it teaches young people responsibility, camaraderie, sportsmanship, and competition. It's a fantastic family hobby.
My name is Julie, and my brother is Daniel, and I love pigeons.
My name is Lee Roberts. I'm from Lubbock, Texas. I'm only been in the hobby for about 10 years. I got into it just to have a hobby and have been relatively successful. My main interest is just going to these shows, being around the people, having fun, and anybody that comes to these shows that comes strictly with the idea they're going to win it has missed the point. These are shows strictly for being around your friends, and you've got to realize that the judge is giving his opinion on your bird just for that day. My main interest is interesting young people in the hobby, teach them responsibility of taking care of the animal, and just giving them something to do to keep them off the streets.
I'm Jessica Philibert. I live in Hobbs, New Mexico. I raise fantails. They're fancy pigeons. I've been raising them for 8 years now, and they're just a great hobby to be around. They're great. It's lots of fun.
My name is Chris Ortega, and I'm from Shallow Water, Texas. And I've been raising birds for maybe 20 plus years. And what I'm doing here, I'm putting the feathers in order, which is called lacing. These are called American fantails. So we get one at a time, and we start off all the way to the center, and then we tuck them in. I take each feather and put it in order, like you're counting a deck of cards. And I start at the center. So with these two little fingers right here, it's called lacing. So I'm putting the birds back in together. I'm just putting the feathers back in order and straightening them up one by one. And then once you get a perfect fan, you start on the other side. So once you finish this one side, hang on real quick, I'll be in a... And then once you finish this one side, you go to this other side and you do the same thing. You start one by one. And these ones, like I said, are American fantails. There's also Indian fantails. They're a little bit bigger, but these ones are the American standard fantails. This one's actually a dark check. And when you come to the center, you just do the opposite. You do the lacing of the tail one by one. And the more you handle them, the calmer the bird is going to be.
I'm here from Carlsbad looking at the pigeon show. I enjoy it, and they got some beautiful birds. And I like to look at them. And I used to raise pigeons years ago, but not anymore.